Hi everybody, it's Az here with AZCast number 9. Very zoomed in as well. Of course, I am your host, and my co-host, as always, is Zerg. How are you doing, Zerg?
Yeah, not too shabby.
Right.
How are you? I see you got a friend with you today.
Right, so...
I told you I'd help you with it.
I'm doing a painting stream, right? I'm doing a painting stream. So I zoomed in the camera so people could see what I'm doing. And a couple of people have said to me, you know, probably get the camera in a bit closer. So I thought, right, I'm gonna do what they ask. I'm gonna put the camera, keep the zoom. And I thought, yeah, this looks all right. The first day that I get the camera zoomed in, which is today recording, and this is actually Friday the 29th of June.
In the morning again.
8:52 a.m. I get a cold sore. If I do that, it's not.
If you just hide your lip under the black bar.
I'm gonna talk like this.
Do you know you should put Bane mask on? Sorted.
I actually do have it over there.
Yeah, problem solved.
Actually, I've got both Bane masks. I've got the one from the Dark Knight Rises, and I've got the one from the comics.
Nice.
So it's a matter of choisir.
Well,
about which one to put. Yeah. So the first time I zoomed the camera right in, and it looks like this, by the way, because I put toothpaste on it, people, to dry it out. So you know, I don't care what you say in the comment section. It happens to us all. So off. Today's episode is going to be less than an hour.
We hope.
I am absolutely positive it's going to be less than an hour. Disclaimer, might be over an hour. But I've dropped the number of topics. Normally I talk about like 6, 7 different things. I've dropped it to 5 in an effort. But my God, some of these are juicy. They're juicy. They're juicy. So we've got 3 gaming topics to discuss today.
Okay, 3.
And
What's the other 2 then?
Geeky topics to discuss.
Ooh, I like the geeky ones. Mind you, I love the gaming ones as well, but you know.
The new format here, folks, is Zerg don't know what we're going to talk about.
No.
Right? Do you know why I said that? To piss off all the people who go, yeah, well, I haven't told him what we're going to talk about. So, you. So, first up. This microphone, by the way, is really close. Looks really cool. Thinking about maybe doing some asthma.
Asthma. Oh, go on, get closer.
What is that?
Get closer.
I put Twitch up on the I put Twitch up last night, and on the front page there was a freaking asthma channel. Had like 1,500 people watching it.
What? I can't stand that stuff. It's like, seriously, please speak up so I can hear you. It drives me nuts.
Are they talking? All I hear is like, that's all they do. They just do weird noises in the microphone.
What?
Maybe I was watching a porno. Anyway.
Are you sure he was on Twitch?
It was on Twitch. It was on Twitch. Definitely on Twitch, not on Pornhub. So the first thing we're going to talk about today, and the reason why I brought the microphone up now is because, ooh, ladies, I can't get, it's so close, I don't get too animated unless I
sort of like his restraining order.
Maybe this is how it should be. I don't know. But we're going to talk about BioWare. We're going to talk about Mark Dara. And we're going to talk about Mass Effect Andromeda, which is a game both you and I have played.
I love Mass Effect.
We have finished both. I love the Mass Effect series. Love it. I thought 1, 2, 3 were great in their own ways.
Yeah.
And not perfect by any stretch, but they were absolutely wonderful. Number 2 was pretty much perfect, actually. I take all that back.
Suicide mission.
And Mass Effect Andromeda, absolute pile of steaming shit. But we'll kind of go into this in a moment. Anyway, Mark Dara from BioWare, who's now moved on to Anthem.
Yeah.
Came up with what I personally think, because I don't hold back, is one of the most ludicrous things I've heard in gaming. Where number one, he tried to palm off that Mass Effect Andromeda didn't have a fair shake. And then when asked why, said something along the lines of, well, because Zelda released. And when asked to clarify this statement, because it was then reported that he was essentially blaming the release of Zelda on poor Mass Effect showing. Mass Effect Andromeda. Not to be confused with the good Mass Effect games. It's the shit one. He was asked to clarify it, and he came onto Twitter and he's like, I think I'm probably going to regret this in 25 minutes. Oh, he's so funny. And then he spieled off that what he meant was he thought that Mass Effect Andromeda came out in a very difficult gaming window. Lots of games are coming out, lots of big name games, Horizon Zero Dawn, Zelda, other shizzle. And said, it was very tough for us to compete. Look, I'm just going to end it right there. What a sack of fucking shit. Right? I've already sworn. Shite. What an absolute crock of shit. Now, before we kind of discuss this is what pisses me off so much about the gaming industry, right? Is that they essentially try and rewrite their own rhetoric. They try and rewrite what happened. It's like when the victor, the history is written by the winners. So you don't necessarily know if what happened was true.
Yeah.
Because it's written by the team that won.
Yeah, it's all very one-sided.
And a game is kind of a little bit like that. People give stuff a little bit of time, and then suddenly it's just like one big rose-tinted spec for gamers. So yes, I'm having to go at us gamers as well. But when it comes to like development and stuff like that, oh my god! As we discussed, I think last week, maybe the week before, gaming companies just can't wait to lie. I mean, it's as if it's built into their DNA that they just lie. And this statement about not having a fair shake at fair shake and so many good games coming out in a window, piss right off, right? If Mass Effect Andromeda was a good game, a great game, but even a good game, it would have sold.
Yeah,
there's no reason why it would have sold, right? Because even if it didn't have a huge opening, it would have sold further down the line. It would have had a prolonged life because, let's say, people bought the Horizon Zero Dawns and his Zeldas and whatnot. They would have finished those, and still Mass Effect would have got some more sales later on.
Yeah.
Further down the chain, as I like to think. To me, and I'll let you speak in 1 minute. Well, probably less, actually. To me, the reason why Mass Effect didn't sell is it was utter garbage, right? And I've heard from quite a few people recently, coming out of quite a few people, critics, or just, people like us that waffle about shit, fake critics. That, people go, well, Mass Effect wasn't that bad, but it, wasn't great, and it was totally flawed. No, the game was shit. It was utter shit, and it wasn't just shit because of the glitches and whatnot. It was shit because it had terrible characters, a terrible story, mediocre gameplay, which people seem to play up for some bizarre reason, terrible villain, and a terrible script. Now, you add all that onto the bugs and the shite on top of all that, and you have a clusterfuck of a game. Now, I'll let you kind of say your piece about Mass Effect Andromeda. Do you buy into this statement at all?
No. Simple as no. Like you just said, if the game was supposed to be as fantastic and phenomenal and amazing as most of the Mass Effect audience hoped it would be, to be like the successor for Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, it would have sold itself. Unfortunately,
there was 5 years between Mass Effect 3 and Andromeda.
Yeah.
People were gagging for more Mass Effect.
Yeah. But it just wasn't. And everybody saw, even if you weren't in gaming, everyone saw all the memes, everything that was on social networking of all the janky animations, the lifeless animations, let's be honest.
I think that's the game's least of its troubles.
Yeah. I mean, that alone probably should have helped it to sell because, like, oh, this game looks really entertaining in a really stupid way. Because let's be fair, if anybody loves anything when it comes to games, everyone loves bugs because they're great content.
Well, I mean, you know, especially when you got some class ones in Mass Effect. I mean, there were some ridiculous ones. There were, I mean, literally verging on hilarity.
Yeah.
With the way that the characters were looking. Of course, the infamous scene with the "My face is tired." By the way, cracking script with that one. My face is... Who writes that shit? Now, they also tried to palm some of the blame off on EA about the release window and stuff like that. I just want to stress again, 5 years to make this game between the last two.
Wasn't, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't it scrap, not so much scrap, but the original...
Well, yeah. What I was going to follow up and say, there was massive development trouble. But pro tip, BioWare, maybe don't hire a massive racist to head up your project that goes on Twitter and makes massive sweeping statements about white people. Because that's just racism. It's massive racism. Just because the people are white doesn't excuse it. He was a massive racist. So that was the person who was in charge. That always helped. And so he got shanked out when it came to like that he was a massive racist. And then apparently the Mass Effect Andromeda we got was in production for like 18 months or something daft like that.
Yeah.
And EA wouldn't shift the release window. And they had major problems with the engine because they couldn't get the engine to work because it's a new engine for them. All these kind of things. And on top of that, by the sounds of it, they had a really shit team of devs. I'm just going to put it all out there. Because they hired the cosplayer to write the fucking thing. Didn't they? There was like some cosplayer that they'd brought in as a writer or something. Somebody fact check me on that. Might be a little bit wibbly wobbly, but it's just like a cosplayer or like some sort of external kind of influence in the gaming industry, and they brought her in to write the script. Utter garbage. The script was utter and mitigated garbage. The story.
What story?
Well, that's why I'm doing the shrug. I'm doing the shrug thing.
Where were the Quarians?
Right,
I'm still looking up there for my camera. It's not up there.
Yeah, no, I can't.
Where's it gone?
As far as I remember, the story was we left our solar system to try and go to the new solar system, Andromeda. We left the Milky Way to go to Andromeda, where we tried to set up colonies and whatnot, and fuck aliens. Because I just thought they should have called it Mass Effect Fuck Simulator. Because every single line that you said to a character, there was a flirt option. Every fucking line. It was just like, hi to the cleaner. And then it would just be like, can you clean the bathroom? How's your work been today? Is everything working okay in the, I don't know, the fucking broom closet? And then number 4, would you like to suck my dick? It was just like, it's just utter ridiculousness that every single thing led to, like 90% of conversations always had a flirt option. It was just like, I ain't got a problem with sex in games. I've got no problem with nudity in games. As long as when I say as long as, it's not really as long, but it just, if it's relevant to the game, if it's relevant to the character, if it fits the character, even if it's, and also sometimes gratuitous. Why? Because we're sexual creatures, right? Just, the games medium is just like any other medium. It's there to entertain. It's there to titillate. It's there to make us think. All these different types of things which are meant to happen. So I ain't approved when it comes to stuff like that. But the way that they're just shoehorned in, I was just like, I wouldn't talk like this. Nobody would talk like this. No. Apart from a 14-year-old raging hormone teenager. Is the only person that... 14 and had a couple of fucking decades on, mister. But yeah, it was just... so all this kind of rose-tintedness about Mass Effect Andromeda. I just piss off.
Yeah. I personally don't have rose tinted because I see all the flaws with it, but I finished it and I did enjoy what it was. I didn't enjoy the story.
What did you enjoy?
I liked the combat. I really enjoyed the combat and the exploration because I appreciated what the art team and the music team did with the planets and the music. I really did enjoy that. I loved the art on it. So I was just like going around looking at vistas and whatnot. But that's just me. I'm a sucker for art.
I can't remember the score at all.
No?
No. And as for the vistas and stuff, I'm not gonna knock something. I think there were some nice ones actually, but I was so detracted from the utter garbage that was going on.
Yeah.
That maybe it did look pretty. I can't remember.
I mean, what happened with me was that because
I just thought it's okay. I mean, it wasn't bad.
Oh yeah, it was nothing groundbreaking.
All right. I wasn't doing cartwheels around my bedroom. Going, fuck
I just
me,
felt a bit more.
Combat is best. I wasn't doing any of that.
I mean, compared to the other ones, Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, to me, because I play a lot of those games, going from those into Andromeda, it just felt a little bit more fluid. So I did enjoy it.
Well, somebody said to me, because I can remember streaming it, and somebody said to me, I was talking about, I'm not a massive fan of the combat system. And then somebody said to me, did you like the combat in Mass Effect 2 and 3? I was like, yeah. And I said, well, it's just the same, so how do you not like this? And I said, because 5 years have passed between the third game, and 7 years have passed since Mass Effect 2 at the time. It's obviously a little bit longer. So, games have changed in 7 years. And what's good then doesn't necessarily translate to now.
No, I mean,
so I just thought it was like, okay. Wasn't mind-blowing. It was all right.
If you go back and play Mass Effect 1, it hasn't aged well at all. It really hasn't.
Probably not.
Funky,
that
it's
had the
slow.
worst combat system.
Yeah. I mean, let's say I still play them quite religiously on my Twitch channel, and I love them. But I'm not blind to their faults at all. So when you go back and play those old ones, and if you play something that feels kind of similar, especially when it comes to...
Well, if I was to play Mass Effect 1 again, I would be playing it from a narrative perspective.
Yeah, that's how I play it.
And I'd be playing it as a narrative perspective to play all three to get the full story out. But this Mark Darrah business, these quotes and Andromeda not getting a fair shake. Look, production problems at a company happens. I understand that. But there seem to be so many mistakes that were self-inflicted. This wasn't like an unfortunate series of events. They had ridiculous people involved in the project that fucked up the project. They had EA all over their ass. They couldn't get the bloody engine to work. And a lot of this was self-inflicted stuff. And if you go in with EA as your publisher, you've made your deal with the devil. You've got to deal with it.
Yeah.
So if you can't Sonny cry that EA aren't going to pull back your release window, because they would have got that release window when the game went into initial production.
Yeah, that's the point of it. That you have a release window, you have to work to that deadline. That's what deadlines are.
Yeah, and EA are a business, and horrific, horrible business full of horrific, horrible people. But they are a business, and they don't care about gamers. They care about they care about the shareholders. So they want a game out. They want a game out. So Mark Darrah might be a very nice person, but Mark Darrah, you're talking nonsense.
Stop it.
Which the gaming industry likes to do for a fucking living. 20 minutes already. Fuck my life. We're going to go over an hour, probably. Right, let's go on to... No, we won't, because we've already smashed the next two.
Yeah,
but then again, the last two might be quite long. Anyway, second topic for today's conversation, because I'm actually sorry, Zoe, but I am sticking a full stop on the end of that.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. I said my piece anyway.
PUBG.
Oh, God. I can already guess what you're going to say.
Go on, then.
They've pulled out from their lawsuit.
Yes, they've dropped their lawsuit. No reason why.
No, it's just
Pulled out
they
the
just.
lawsuit. However, a little bit more information has come to light as to what the lawsuit was actually about.
Right.
And it seems instead of they weren't trying to sue Fortnite for nicking the idea of a
say that's just
Royale,
stupid.
which would have been hilarity. There seems to be some idea that because we don't know the full details, but there seems to be some idea that PUBG is made by Epic's Unreal Engine.
Right.
The Epic-owned Unreal Engine. Epic, who do Fortnite. And Epic apparently worked with the PUBG developers. I keep wanting to say Blue Island. It's not Blue Island. It's Blue something. Blue
Sky?
I don't know.
Blue
Wankers.
eyes?
Dealt with them working on PUBG. So there seems to be an idea that there might have been potentially, this is all now speculation, potentially either a non-compete clause or the Epic themselves might have taken what would have been sensitive information, which should have been specifically to the PUBG people, but because they're working on it, they're obviously privy to that and use that to create their own. That is the speculation. No foundation, the speculation. Which is ironic because Fortnite are currently suing a former employee who themselves has given away details of the next season because they're working on what was coming for the next event, the season event, whatever. Yeah, they're getting a bit of a suing. So it'd be quite ironic that if the real reason why the lawsuit was dropped is because of also if you're kind of using your biggest rival's engine.
That's a huge David versus Goliath.
The engine and they're just like, do you know what? I'm not going to renew that license on your engine. How about that? Or some sort of shenanigans.
Yeah.
Involving the engine, then yeah, you're going to be in a spot of bother. But it's been dropped. No explanation given. Just dropped like it's hot.
I'm sure we'll find out very soon.
So we just have to speculate and make shit up.
Yeah, love speculating.
Anything more that we need to say about PUBG?
I don't think so, to be honest.
Topic number 3, PUBG.
Hold on a second. Are you sure? Okay, go on. What have they done now?
We're straight back in. Right, this is if you thought, oh wait, whoa, Az, number 2 was real quick. Don't worry, number 3 there's going to be some chit chat. So
that was just a foreplay. It comes to
this is where stuff gets so funny, it just makes me want to laugh.
Stolen
Fortnite's idea of the event pass, and they're doing their own event pass.
That I did see. I think I saw it last week, and I just rolled my eyes and just whatever.
Let's just put this back into perspective. PUBG were suing Fortnite potentially for nicking ideas, nicking this and that. Now they are nicking off Fortnite. Just see us, whatever. Who give this is now just parody anyway. These two companies, it's just parody. Parody, not parity. Parity is definitely not there because Fortnite is that far ahead. So they've nicked the idea for the event pass from Fortnite. And the event pass on Fortnite, I think it runs for 10 weeks a season.
All right.
And you pay, I think it translates to £8 British.
It's not too bad. What do you get out of the season?
You get costumes, you get like weapon skins. It's all cosmetic stuff. Weapon skins,
obviously, yeah.
Sprays, emotes, currency to use in the in-game store.
Right.
And if you complete the event pass, you will have actually built up enough in-game credit to purchase the next event pass.
So you can use in-game currency to buy the passes.
So in theory, with Fortnite, you spend your £8. If you play the game enough, that could be the only cost and you still get the full event pass.
Do you know what? That's kind of clever. I like that.
Well, it's for a free-to-play game. And if you play Fortnite a lot, you know, if you're a casual player, you're probably not going to get enough. What? Okay.
Yeah.
But if you're a hardcore player, your squid's in.
But if you, let's say for sake, you only play, you're a casual player, right? And you only get, let's say, half the currency to the next season to be able to buy it. So technically, you could pay for 2 seasons and then get a season free. Can you do that? Does your currency carry over?
Oh, your currency carries over. Yeah. So you could do another season, go halfway through, whatever.
Yeah.
And potentially earn enough in-game credit to then buy the 3rd for free. Yeah. Yeah, once you've earned it, you keep it. It's as simple as that.
Do you know what? I kind of like that. That's a good idea.
Well, that's
an incentive to keep playing.
Yeah, I mean, when we've talked about Fortnite in the past, I said to you, I feel a little bit bad because I'm playing this for free. I'm playing it quite a lot. I ain't put a penny into this game.
Yeah.
I really should buy the event pass. I bought the event pass, £8. I've easily got 8 quid's worth of enjoyment out of Fortnite.
Yeah.
And it's a game, although I haven't played it for a couple of weeks, three or so weeks, it's a game I'll definitely play again.
It's a pick up and put down game, essentially, isn't it?
I kind of get itching to play it. So it feels like good value. Just purchasing the event pass automatically gives you like 2 new characters as well.
Okay.
Like not just skins, new characters, which you won't randomly, and you can set it to be that specific character and stuff. So it's a good deal. Now, obviously, they're every 10 weeks, the seasons. £8. Yeah. If you pay for every season, you're paying 8,000 for. You're still paying like the price of a game for a year.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I was to drop £8 and get 10 weeks worth of play out of it, I would be ecstatic over that kind of content. Essentially, if you enjoyed it that amount.
So let's talk about PUBG's event pass.
Okay, go on then.
Number 1, PUBG is a paid-for game. You have to buy the game. There'd be noise up in here, y'all. Sorry, that's my pacemaker. Do beg your pardon. So,
Sorry.
PUBG, you have to purchase the game. Now, it varies, but normally it comes in about £25. £20 to £25 UK. There might be the odd deal here and there, and the odd place might flog it for 30 quid. But I think as a rule of thumb, you can purchase PUBG for around £20 to £25.
$26.99. 18. If you listen to us or watching this, as soon as it's been released within the week, it's £18.
Right, so
sale.
there. Right, so you're paying approximately that.
Yeah.
Their event pass is going to be $10.
Who'd have thunk?
Which is like kind of the same as Fortnite's, but apparently it actually works out a little bit more expensive for dollar-wise, dollar on dollar.
Yeah.
But UK, I think it's going to pretty much be the same. But not only is this a paid game, the event pass only lasts 30 days. Theirs aren't 10 weeks. Theirs are 30 days. So every 30 days, new event pass. Hasn't got as many items at all as the Fortnite one. And you're going to love this, mate. If you want to complete the PUBG event, apparently, and I have had this checked, apparently you have to play for 8 hours a day for 28 out of the 30 days to complete the event pass.
What are they smoking?
Well, it's been a little bit criticised by the community.
Are they bonkers?
If that is all legit, and I have had that checked, if that is all legit, I'm absolutely shaking my head in disbelief at how much nonsense that is.
That's like a real middle finger to the people that enjoy PUBG and want to get those stuff, because they're not going to be able to.
No.
Even if you work or go to school, there's still not enough hours in a day to do that.
No, not unless you are a full-time gamer that loves PUBG. But on top of that, if you work it out against Fortnite, it's let's say Fortnite's $10, just for argument's sake, £8,
Yeah.
$10. When a Fortnite season ends, you would have spent $25 in PUBG doing the same thing. And I'm going to be a little bit cruel, but at the same time, I don't think I'm saying anything out of order here. PUBG is an asset flip. It's essentially an asset flip. It's a lot of bought assets, whereas Fortnite is its own original.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff came from DayZ, wasn't it? Majority of it.
It's either DayZ or H1Z1, something like that.
I think
I got it wrong. I think wasn't it built Nick from Armour 3, which maybe.
Well, they all use the same engine anyway, don't they?
Yeah.
So, yeah, essentially.
Essentially, it all boils down to like Armour 3, I think.
Yeah.
And if you just look, I mean, I'm not now. This is where I'm not trying to be cruel, but I have to say things like this. I do feel I have to say things like this because it's only fair. You look at how smooth the animations in Fortnite are. You look how smooth the characters are. And if you look at it, PUBG, it just looks so clunky.
Yeah.
No, I know it's... Look, folks, I know it's popular. I know a lot of people like it. I'm not trying to shit all over your game here, but I have played PUBG. I play Fortnite.
That's fair enough.
I play them both. I play Fortnite, and I don't play PUBG.
I don't play either.
And I find it just very clunky. The menu system is god awful. The animations are pretty dreadful for the most part. and you know, so it's no wonder that people are, like, you think of what is the most popular squad based shooter out there?
Well, that's Fortnite.
No, squad based.
Oh, squad based shooter.
Squad based.
Squad based shooter. That would be what's it called? Rainbow Six.
Not as popular as number one. Getting more Overwatch.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Sorry.
Right, and you look at the cartoony style of Fortnite, and you look at Overwatch. There's a similarity there.
There is, yeah.
And I'm not saying that, I'm not saying that they've done it because of Overwatch, but I'm saying that people are attracted to a game that has a very unique aesthetic.
Yes.
Right? And Fortnite has a very unique, cartoony aesthetic that I find personally very appealing. I find the colouring, like I said, the animations, the movement, everything very, very appealing to me. When I look at PUBG, I see a game which looks, and apparently is, very, very unpolished. Feels as if, probably still in some sort of testing phase. I think it is still in testing phases, or is it out officially now?
Have a quick look.
I'm not exactly sure.
I'm sure
it doesn't feel as if it's anywhere near.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel as if it's anywhere near a release.
No, it is out officially. It's out of early access.
It just feels way too unpolished.
It's only been out of released 21st December 2017.
Right, so 6 months out of early access.
Yeah. How long has this game been around? What, 3 years?
Two and a half years, maybe. I think in total.
And still not polished. That says a lot.
But I think apparently that is a big gripe of the communities, that the game just isn't updated.
Yeah.
Bugs haven't been fixed. Apparently it's rampant with cheaters, and all this kind of jazz. And I think I don't think it's helping itself. I mean, it's been vastly popular, but I can see it just continuing to drop and drop if it doesn't change these things, if it doesn't tweak and change and actually try and do something different. New maps are all well and good, but if your game looks like an unpolished mess,
I mean, you could add as many maps you want to it, but if the game still feels as slow and clunky as a snail, actually no way, snail's nice and smooth when it moves along, but you know what I mean.
Quite slow though.
They're very slow.
Yeah, I mean, look, I know it's been vastly popular, and I know it's done very, very well indeed.
Yeah.
And it's certainly no failure by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh, no.
But it is not ever going to compete with Fortnite in its current state. Ever.
No.
Ever. In actual fact, the likelihood is more Battle Royale type games, because we need more, are just going to come and overtake it. Because they'll have a level of polish on them.
Well, there's one that's come out recently that is mimicked Fortnite's art style called Realm Royale.
Yeah, I've seen quite a bit of that going around. I haven't watched any matches of it yet, but I've seen a lot of.
I have. It kind of like appeals to me because it has a fantasy side to it. You can find forges in the map and craft armor, which I thought was like that's really cool. And there's mounts as well.
Okay.
People are riding around on their horses and whatnot, and you can select a class whether you play a mage, a hunter, I think a paladin, something along those lines. So you can, mix it up a bit as well if you want. It's really quite bizarre.
How is somebody subscribing to my Twitch channel? If anyone heard that.
As you do.
Yeah, just as you do.
As you do.
Just mid podcast. I'm not streaming, but somebody still did. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Always nice. Would have been awesome if that was a tip noise, but never mind. Yeah, so look, this event pass is being absolutely panned by PUBG players.
I'm not surprised.
For price, length of seasons, what is actually in the actual rewards, just nowhere near. They ain't helping themselves. Look, they've made a bucket load off this game. God knows how much money they've made off this game. It's got to be a small foot. It's got to be a king's ransom. Let's get all the cliches in.
It could be more than that because
yeah, they've. It just feels like they're not investing any of it. It's like $1 million for us, £1 for the game. $1 million for us, £1 for the game. It kind of feels a little bit like that.
Yeah.
So let's put the gaming to one side, and we have 2 geeky topics to discuss.
Okay. Mufasa.
God, I so want this to be true. Apparently, the rumor mill has it.
Rumor.
Sir Patrick Stewart has agreed in principle to return to the role of Captain Jean-Luc Picard in a brand new Star Trek series starting in 2019 on board the Enterprise.
Must contain my excitement.
Apparently, it's been verbally agreed.
Verbally.
God, fucked my nose up. I'm gonna sneeze. It's been verbally agreed. You gotta speak. I'm gonna sneeze.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So apparently it's been verbally agreed. So we don't have anything in writing at the moment. But oh my god, the best captain in Star Trek. Come on. Why would any of you Star Trek nerds out there is gonna know? Like Captain Picard is just the best.
So it's been agreed in principle, but they've still got to work out a contract. Now, this unfortunately, the contract stage is where 90% of projects fall apart.
Yeah.
So don't get massively excited until pen is put to paper, because pen is not put to paper. So I was licking a toothpaste off my thing there. Brushing my teeth as I do this stream. But if it happens, oh my god. There is a problem though. The project will be written by Alex Kurtzman, who's shit.
Let's be fair though. It's Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, and
he will look at it and go, "Well, this is shit. I'm not doing this."
My boy.
This dude is one of the very few Shakespearean actors out there. There aren't very many of them.
There are a load, but he's just one of the very famous.
The best.
Because a lot of Shakespearean actors tend to stick to the stage.
Yeah.
Whereas here, he's translated to television.
Yes.
And film, of course. But he's one of those, like Surrey and McAllen. He's been one of these ones which have managed to bridge the gap between theatre and this. There's some wonderful stories about Sir Patrick Stewart's audition to play.
I can't not be distracted by
audition. Fucking Coleslaw. But the toothpaste is just so tasty. His audition to actually become Captain Jean-Luc Picard for the first time, because he used to wear a wig, or he was told to wear a wig.
He was,
for the audition, and he actually did his first audition in a wig, and apparently there's right palaver, and they weren't sure on him. They weren't sure on him at all, and he leaves the interview. He leaves the audition, sorry, and he pulls off this wig, which after he's finished, he pulls it off, and apparently it's in a right state. And the guy who really was pushing for Patrick to get these Patrick, we're on first name, says, "Fuck it, we live very close to each other. I don't care." Who was kind of got so close that you could actually see. It's gonna get you. Who was really pushing for him? He said, you need to give him another chance. And so they said, look, call him back in. Let's get him to do something else. And so they said, Patrick, they want you to go back in. He's pulled his wig off. He's like, I pulled my wig. It's just like, he says the wig's in a mess or something.
Yeah.
So putting it back on would be ridiculous. so he came back in and did it bald. And then it was just like, that's our guy. That's our guy. That's him. That's Captain Picard.
It is. It's just, you think back Captain Picard, you just, no one can play him apart from...
Oh, God, no. No. It's like as if somebody tried to play Han Solo.
I see what you did there. Hold on a second.
Right. Now, as regards to what the show would actually be, no idea.
Did these wig look like this?
Mine does. That's awesome. Is that a tribble?
It's a tribble.
Yeah, it's a tribble. Yeah.
I should imagine his wig looked like that.
Maybe. Quite possibly. Quite possibly. But apparently, when his hair was all going, he kept it, and his friends were not too happy with it. So one day he'd invited a couple of friends around for dinner, and they were sat at the dinner table, and one of them got excused themselves to go, excuse me, off to the the WC, the washroom closet, and they walked behind him, and then they grabbed him and pinned his arms, and the other one got the scissors and pulled his comb over and cut it off.
Oh gosh!
So as a thing of love, not as a twatty thing. Look, you can see the toothpaste; it's gone all white.
Ooh.
There you go. There's the offending object. And so they did it out of love. But what the show would actually entail, dunno. Rumored to be on board the Enterprise. So, because Patrick Stewart, I think 78. He's either 76 or 78. If you want to fact check that.
I'll have a quick look.
Either 76 or 78. So he's getting on. This might potentially be maybe Captain Jean-Luc Picard's last tour. Last tour as captain before retiring, or
77.
77. So before, this could be his last thing, and maybe they're setting up a new cast to take over on the Enterprise.
Yeah.
And maybe season 2 onwards, if it does go and does well, or maybe they just want Patrick to go until he says, oh, my lovey, I think I'm at 83. I think I'm done as the captain of the Enterprise now. Or whatever it is. But my God, I love the Next Gen with all my heart and soul.
Yeah, same.
Still a program that I watched today. If they write it, and the emphasis is on writing it, if they write it as well as the Next Generation was written, it would be a monumental hit. I hope it happens.
It's just...
My heart cries for it to happen.
It does. I mean, when when the series finished and they started with the movies, I was okay. We got the movies, and what are you doing?
The movies weren't good.
No, they weren't good at all. But it was still more Patrick Stewart.
But Captain Picard wasn't Captain Picard in the movies.
No, I guess he wasn't.
In the Enterprise, in Next Generation, that he resorted to violence as the very, 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 very last step. He's all about democracy. He's all about diplomacy. He was all about understanding, trying to, and all this kind of jazz. But in the films, he's just a fucking madman. He's a madman that's blowing up everything and firing everything and shooting everything. And he's not Captain Picard in the film. The films are pretty awful.
I like Nemesis. Nemesis felt like he was a bit more understanding because he tried to get to understand his younger self, who had been through other stuff that didn't necessarily have the life that he had. I like that. Didn't like Nemesis.
Nemesis is terrible.
I liked it.
But let's talk about nice things. Okay. It's terrible. That's a fact.
Thought we were talking about nice things.
That's a fact, sir. No, we're not. We're talking about Nemesis, which is not nice. But it could lead to potential cameos by other former members of the Enterprise.
That would be cool.
I'd love to see Geordi back. I'd love to see Worf back. I don't think Jonathan... I mean, I could... But I don't think Jonathan Frakes would be interested, because I think he's more interested in behind the scenes now. Maybe he'd be interested in directing an episode. But
yeah.
would he be interested in reprising Riker? I don't know. It'd be like, I'd be happy to see all.
Yeah, a cameo from him would be pretty cool. He's settled down. They
married in Nemesis, yeah.
Yeah, but he never got promoted to captain, though, did he?
Yeah.
Did he?
He took over the Titan.
That's right. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, he did. My bad.
Don't fuck with me on my Star Trek. Yeah, he took over as captain of the Titan. He took Deanna Troi with him. Let's face it, Maria Sirtis would definitely be up for it. She needs a payday. She don't get in our work. No. It'd be great to see Captain Wesley Crusher.
Yeah.
Will Whedon.
He's flipped off the radar over the past couple of years, isn't he?
Oh, no, he's massive with Geek and Sundry and stuff.
That's right, yeah.
Massive.
Okay, he slipped off my radar then.
Slipped off your... Yeah, I mean, but he's clearly doing stuff he loves. And
yeah, that's cool.
He's at the cons as well with them now, and I watched, because I'm a massive geek. I watched like the Star Trek con interviews and stuff, and he was very, very humble now about a very I'm trying to phrase this correctly because I don't want to do Will Wheaton disservice here. I think he had a great deal of regret about how he handled his leaving.
Right.
And I think he felt as if he let the cast down. And I think he lived with so much regret that it stopped him from talking to them for a long time. And they were just like, you are a member of our family. We love you. We've always been here for you. And there's some wonderful moments, and I felt as if it's maybe quite cathartic for him as well. So I'd love to see Captain Wesley Crusher.
How cool would it be if we had all the captains in each of the ships just on screen? So, Riker in the Titan.
Well, we know
Picard
LaForge,
in the Enterprise.
We know LaForge moved on. Didn't LaForge take over the Excelsior?
I can't remember if I'm honest.
I can't remember.
But
he's in Voyager. I don't think he did. He's in Voyager as Captain LaForge. Can't remember what ship though. Might be.
Oh! Quick Google! Quick Google!
Fact check that one. But so he's clearly left the Enterprise by then as well. We know Worf left because Worf went to DS9, and so Gates McFadden is Beverly Crusher. We never knew what happened to her. She could have stayed with Picard. Who knows? They may have married. Who knows?
Challenger.
Challenger. That's it. The Challenger. Thank you. And am I missing anybody? Tashiar's dead. Not IRL.
No, poor
Just
Tash.
in the show. Just in the show.
Why did they kill her off?
Because she wanted to leave.
Did she?
Yeah.
I didn't know
It
that.
was her decision. If you read between the lines, I think she had some problems with Patrick Stewart.
Right.
She also had problems with the show. She actually said to them, "Why don't you just put a cardboard cutout of my legs? Because I don't do anything, or you don't see me doing anything. You only see my bottom of my legs."
Yeah.
And so she moved on. There was a feeling that it wouldn't actually get past the first season, so there's a possibility that she was also hedging her bets.
Yeah.
But it was her decision to leave. She wasn't fired or anything like that. It was her decision to leave.
Interesting.
Oh my god, I bet she's missing all those residual checks. Because she left before syndication. So I don't know about residuals for her, but she certainly won't be getting anywhere near the sweet, sweet pie that the others will be getting.
That's Star Trek pie.
And yeah, so as far as I'm aware, Beverly Crusher's the only member of the Enterprise who we don't know whether or not they've moved on or not. We know that she becomes a captain in the future with her own science vessel because of the very final episode.
Yeah.
But we don't know when that happens. But we do know that she did marry Jean-Luc Picard, although they were divorced.
Yes, yeah.
So Star Trek, love, 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 love. Yum, 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 yum. 9 minutes until it hits. 8 minutes until it hits an hour. Let's go. And the final bit, because we've got to move on. Please, Patrick, make it happen. Love you so much.
Please,
Mwah.
please.
More TV series. Halo has finally been greenlit. Halo has been commissioned. Showtime has asked, or is doing a run of 10 episodes of a Halo TV series going into pre-production early, or going into production, sorry. It being pre-production pretty much now. Going into production early 2019, so probably release maybe 2020, late 2019. Master Chief coming to the small screen. You're a Halo fan.
I am.
Thoughts?
This can go one of two ways. It can either go really sci-fi, family friendly, or it can go dark and gritty.
Dude, it's on Showtime.
I don't know what Showtime's
Master
like.
Chief's probably going to get his tits out.
Who does Showtime?
Showtime is...
No, what's Showtime show? It's a Showtime show. I don't watch TV, so I don't know what they broadcast.
Showtime does things like, it did things like, I think, like Sex and the City. I think it did things like Ray Donovan. I think it did Californication. You can probably...
Quick look at Showtime.
Just
See if there's anything that I
maybe
recognize.
didn't do Sex and the City. I think Sex and the City might be a lie, but it does adult shows. I mean, I'm sure it does.
Just go on their website. There's two people in bed.
So if they do a Halo series, I'd like to see it because Halo is an 18, isn't it? Or is it a 15? Or is it now Peggy 12?
It's a Peggy 12 now, but I believe it used to be a 15, 16, I believe.
Right. I would like to see, when I say a mature Master Chief, you know, I'm not saying let's have tits and ass, but, you know.
No. I mean, there was none of that in the books.
But no,
well, actually,
violence and...
Yeah,
you
more
know,
adult themes.
Yeah, a bit of, you know, because if you think about the world that they're in, there's some pretty horrific stuff which kind of goes on.
Yeah, I mean, what I would like them to do, now I know that who's actually doing it and the kind of content they put out, I would really like them to touch upon just the beginning of it, how the Spartans were made and abducted as children. I think that could really like hit home to a lot of the Halo audience, but obviously newer viewers as well, because this stuff is, you know, it's it's during a war between UNSC and the Indies, as they called them, which are the insurrectionists. You know, they're having a war, and they decide to, hey, this Spartan program's not working with adults, but let's see what happens if we do it with kids, because their bodies are more malleable, they're more accepted to the procedures and whatnot.
Growing process still to do.
Yeah, they should be more acceptable to the program. It wasn't until about halfway through that Spartan program that obviously the Covenant then got involved. Like, oh, hold on a second, we've got these super soldiers that are, you know, doing kick-ass stuff with the insurrectionists. What if we put them up against the Covenant? But these kids were only like 12 years old at the time when they went into battle. They were abducted at the ages of 4 and 5. You know, just covering that and the backstories of those Spartans, I think would be really interesting and bring a newer audience into the Halo franchise.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I used to like Halo. I've had no interest since Bungie dropped it. You could see Bungie went on to do great things. Not for gaming, but for themselves. But yeah, I mean, I got a lot of love for Master Chief. I mean, Halo 1 is a seminal game.
Yeah.
It's one of the greatest games of all time. Simply because of how it played, how it was streets ahead of its time. Story-wise, fascinating, great sci-fi, wonderful character, Master Chief, A Star Was Born. So yeah, there's a lot of positives when it comes to Halo. If they all they need with Master Chief is the right voice actor.
Yes.
If they take his fucking helmet off, I'm out. You know, I don't mind seeing him maybe as a boy.
Yeah, I mean, we've all seen images of him as a child and a teenager, because there was, I do believe there was an animated Halo Reach on Netflix you can watch, and they cover the basics of the Reach book to the point. So they cover the abduction of the children, the cloning of the children, their training, up to the fight with the Covenant. So which I highly recommend you go watch it out. It's not fantastic, but if you're not a book reader and you want to know the basics of them,
Harry books, bitch.
Not you. I'm talking about the two people that are watching or listening.
Hey, we're up to 3 now.
Whoa!
We're up to 3.
Hey, our cats don't count. Sorry.
Well, okay, we're back down to 1 now.
But yeah, I mean, if we can get the base story as like a prequel to the Covenant coming into it, I would be all over that, because it's a fantastic foundation to the Spartans, especially if we get more. What's his name? Oh, what's his name? Oh, not the colonel. The
It's talking about Nathan Fillion again.
No, not Nathan Fillion. The other dude. There's one of the Master Chief's like best friend. I can't remember his name.
General Hatton.
No, it's not General. It's
Bombardier.
He's the
Derek.
No, not Derek.
Ghost.
No.
Soldier number 3.
No, he's the last surviving Spartan 1. I can't remember his name. He's like the Chief's. He's like the Chief's best friend, not best friend, but he's always left behind at the end of.
So he's saying that he's got no time for katana. Now then, a naked katana. Let's talk about
That's basically a naked Halsey. Let's be fair, because katana is Halsey. Halsey. Catherine Halsey.
Oh,
Catherine Halsey, the one that abducted all the children and created the Spartan program. She was in Reach at the end.
Dude, we're talking. She was. And that storyline really never went anywhere.
Yeah.
And I was like a bit pissed with that. No, because you got her off the planet. Yeah. But then they put her on the Pillar of Autumn.
No, she didn't. At the end of Reach, she didn't. She escaped with was it Emil? I think she escaped with Emil, because you went off with Carter. And yeah, you and Carter went off. Yeah, you jumped out the Pelican, and he ran the Pelican into the side of the Scarab, while Halsey and I think it's Emil, I might be wrong, They went off in their own Pelican. So I believe Emil is still alive because he trained
you
one
got
of the.
Master Chief onto the Pillar of Autumn.
Yes. Well, Master Chief was already on the Pillar of Autumn. We were getting Cortana onto the Pillar of Autumn.
Oh, is it? God, it's been a while since I played.
That's what that's what the package
Great
was.
ending.
Cortana.
Reach, fantastic ending.
Yes, go play it.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah, look, I think there's a great story to be told here.
There's a lot of content there for them to do.
Well, I even think you don't even have to go. I think you can just plonk them on a Halo.
Yeah.
In season 1.
Yeah.
You could sort of if you hate this idea, folks, sorry. By the way, we just gone over an hour. Fuck my life. But it's not going to go on for much longer. You could kind of like do an arrow, in as much as you have the story going on the Halo, and then you have flashback. You have every so often you have a flashback, which is his own major storyline.
Yeah.
So you could do something along those lines, which I think would work pretty well for the series, because you'd have all the tension of the Halo, all the suspense, all the what's going on here, all of that, and then you'd have your exposition. Instead of being dealt with clunkily, you could have all the exposition dealt with through these flashback sequences.
That could work.
I think that could. But regardless, I think there's a good story to be told here. Showtime make quality programs. I think they do make quality programs.
Yeah.
And
believe this could be the revival of the Halo franchise.
Well, I mean, I don't. Look, I ain't going there, because there's a big difference between the gaming audience and the TV audience. Massive difference. But I think Master Chief needs a lot of repair work. And a strong television show would definitely boost that character. Definitely. But I think both of these TV pieces were discussed. Pretty exciting.
Some interesting stuff.
Yeah. So on that bombshell, people, well, bombshells, shrapnel, cluster bombs, everywhere. AZCast number 9 comes to an end. So big thank you, Zerg.
No, thank you.
And fingers crossed next week this bastard will be gone.
Just start charging him rent. You'll bugger off then.
Third co-host today. Freaking my life. So we'll be back next week with AZCast number 10. Until then, say goodbye, Zerg.
Goodbye, Zerg.
And from me, goodbye as well.